So after we design the process and the product and service, then we have to design the location. We have to select the location, the location of the plant. So location decisions are referred to answering where should an operation be located. Near to customers, near to our resources. So we have to decide on the location of the plant. The decisions usually have an effect on an operation's costs as well as its ability to serve its customers. First, it has its own impact on the operation costs, the production costs. Second, it has its own effect on customers. And then after, revenues. Also, location decisions once taken are difficult to undo. ብዙ ጊዜ ሎኬሽን ዲሲሽን ከወሰነ በኋላ አንዶ ማድረግ በጣም ከባድ ነው፣ መመለስ በጣም ከባድ ነው። So we have to correctly decide where to locate the location of the plant. The costs of moving an operation can be hugely expensive and the risks of inconveniencing customers very high. So we have to decide on the location of the plant. So there are different factors considered in location decision. In making location decision about where to locate an operation managers are concerned with minimizing specialty variable costs and maximizing revenue and customer service. First, we have to reduce the variable costs. Second, we have to maximize the revenue, and we have to satisfy also customers. Location affects both of these, but not equally for all types of operation. The location decision for any operation is determined by the relative strengths of supply side and also demand side factors. So here we have two factors that affect the location decision. Factor is supply side and also demand side. Supply side influences are factors such as labor, land, and utility costs, which changes as location changes. So location change በሚያደርግበት labor cost ሊቀንስ ይችላል፣ ሊጨምር ይችላል። utility cost ሊቀንስ ይችላል፣ የውሃ የመብራት ምንላቸው ኮስቶች ሊጨምር ይችላል፣ ሊቀንስ ይችላል። So such factors we call it supply side. Demand side includes such things as the image of the location, its convenience for customers, and the suitability of the site itself that affect service or revenue of the operation. So supply side, here we have demand side factors, here we have location. So ከኢንፑት ጋር በተያያዘ ከሆነ we call it supply side factors፣ ከከስተመሮች ጋር በተያያዘ ከሆነ we call it demand side factors. Supply side factors, for example, labor costs, energy costs, transportation costs, community factors, and demand side labor skills, suitability of sites, image, convenience for customers, just like that. So we have two factors which affect the location of a plant. Supply side factors, labor costs, for example, the cost of employing people with particular skill can vary between different areas in any country, but are likely to be more significant when international comparisons are made. ከአንድ ቦታ አንድ ቦታ ሌበር ኮስት የተለያየ አማራ ክልል ላይ ትግራይ ክልል or አማራ ክልል ላይ አዲስ አበባ ኮስት የተለያየ ሊሆን ይችላል። ከሀገር ካደረግነው ደግሞ more important ሊሆን ይችላል such factor. Land cost, the cost of acquiring the site itself is a relevant factor in choosing a location. Land and rental costs vary between countries and cities, but even እኛ ሀገር ውስጥ ራሱ በተለያዩ ከተሞች የመሬት ዋጋ የተለያየ ነው። So such factor also affects the location. At a more local level, land costs are also important. Energy costs, operations costs influenced in their locations by the availability of relatively inexpensive energy, whether there is inexpensive energy or not, or electricity. So such factors also affects the location of a plant. Transportation costs also affects. And also there are community factors as influence or an operation's costs which derive from the social, political, and economic environment of each site. These include local tax rates, አንዳንድ ቦታ tax rates high ሊሆን ይችላል፣ አንዳንድ ቦታ ዝቅተኛ ሊሆን ይችላል። Capital movement restrictions, government financial assistance, whether there is financial assistance or not, government planning assistance, political stability, whether there is political stability or not. Political stable ከሆነ more attract ሊያደርገን ይችላል፣ politically unstable ከሆነ ደግሞ attract ላንደረግ እንችላለን or affect ሊያደርገው ይችላል ሎኬሽን ዲሲሽናችንን። ሎካል አቲቲዩድስ ኢንዋርድ ኢንቨስትመንት፣ የአካባቢ ሰው ደግሞ ለኢንዋርድ ኢንቨስትመንት ያለው አተያይ ምን አይነት ነው የሚለው ነው፣ እሱም ቼክ ማድረግ ያስፈልጋል። ቋንቋ also factors, local amenities, availability of support service, history of labor relations, environmental restriction, planning procedures, and bureaucracy. These all are factors that affect the location of a plant. Demand side factors, labor skills, whether there is skilled labor or not. The suitability of the site itself, whether the location is suitable or not. For example, the location of a resort hotel is very largely dependent on the intrinsic character of the site. ሳይቱ አትራክት ሪዞርት ሆቴል ለመክፈት ካሰብን ሳይቱ በጣም አትራክት ማድረግ ይጠበቅበታል። Image of the location. Some locations are firmly associated with in customers' minds with particular image. A 5-star hotel in Cape and yes have different appeal to customers, convenience for customers also. So we have to consider such factors: the community factors, the supply side factors, and also demand side factors. Then we have location decision making techniques. There are techniques to select the location of a plant. Although operations managers must exercise considerable judgment in the choice of alternative locations, there are some systematic and quantitative techniques which can help the decision process. So here we have 3 techniques for selecting the location: factor rating method, also known as weighted score method, center of gravity approach, and we have also break-even analysis. ከነዚህ ከሶስቱ ቴክኒኮች አንዱ ቴክኒክ ተጠቅመን ሎኬሽናችንን ሎኬት ማድረግ እንችላለን። whether to locate in place 1, in place 2, in place 3, or in between here, just like that. Technique is weighted score method, and this technique involves first of all identifying the criteria which will be used to evaluate the various locations. First we have to identify the basic criteria. Second involves establishing the relative importance of each criteria and giving weighted factors to them. First we have to identify the criteria. Second we have to establish the relative importance of each criteria. Third, rating each location according to each criteria, and the scale of the score is arbitrary. So we have 3 procedures in case of weighted score method. First we have to establish criteria. Second we have to establish the relative importance of each criterion, and then we have to rate it. So weighted score model, we have weight, importance of the factor, S, score of location being evaluated in factor I index of the factor. So total weighted score is equal to the summation of weight times score of the location. Example, if you have this one, we have factors. For example, cost of living is 1 factor, proximity to family the 2nd factor, climate the 3rd factor, transportation system the 4th factor, and quality of life the 5th factor. Then factor weight for cost of living ከመቶ 10 ፖይንት ብንሰጠው፣ proximity to family 20 ፖይንት ብንሰጠው፣ climate 30 ፖይንት፣ transportation system 10 ፖይንት፣ quality of life 30፣ አጠቃላይ we have 100 point. Then factor score, location 1, location 2. If you have 2 locations, the first location and the second location, the first location ከcost of living ከ10 weight 5፣ proximity to family 4፣ climate 2፣ transport system 5፣ quality of life 3. Location 2, 2, 2, 5, 3, 5. Then weighted score means factor weight ይሄ ኮለመን ሲባዛ for location 1 this one, for location 2 this one. So for example, 10 times 5 we have 50, 20 times 4 we have 80, 30 times 2 we have 60, 10 times 5 we have 50, 30 times 3 we have 90, then total we have 330. Location 2 we have 10 times 2 we have 20, 20 times 2 we have 40, 30 times 5 we have 150, 10 times 3 30, 30 times 5 150, then total we have 390. So in this case, location 1 total weight 330 ነው, location 2 390 ነው. ከሁለቱ ትልቅ weight score ያመጣው the location 2 390. So 390 greater than 330. Therefore location 2 is better than location 1. So we can conclude just like this. So this technique we call it weighted score method. So if you have this one, let us assume that any medical facility healthcare is to be located in BD. The location factors, factor rating and score for 2 potential sites are shown in the following table, which is the best location based on factor rated method. So we have 5 factors: facility utilization, total patient per month, average time emergency trip, land and construction costs, and employee preference. Factor rating, we have this one. Rating location 1, location 2. So location 1 we have 8 times 3 we have 24, 5 times 4 20, 6 times 4 we have 24. 3 times 1 we have 3. 5 times 1 5 we have 25. Then we have here total. So 44 48 48 68 71 71 81 91 96 we have. Then location 2 we have 8 times 5 we have 40. 5 times 3 we have 15. 6 times 5 we have 30. 3 times 2 we have 6. 5 times 3 we have 15. Then total 55. Then we have 85, 100, 106. So in this case 106 greater than 96. Therefore location 2 is important or better than location 1. We can say that. So we can calculate based on this. The second technique is the center of gravity method. In general, transportation costs are a function of distance, weight, and time. Generally, we can say that transportation cost is a function of distance, a function of weight, and time. Distance ይጨምር total cost ይጨምራል። weight ሲጨምር total cost ይጨምራል። time length በረዘመ ቁጥር total cost ይጨምራል። So we can say that total cost is a function of distance, weight, and time. The center of gravity or weight center technique is a quantitative method for locating a facility such as warehouse as center of movement in a geographical area based on weight and distance. So here we have two factors, weight and distance. This method identifies a set of coordinates designating a central location on a map related to other locations. So ለምሳሌ ሶስት ፕላንት ቢኖረን the first plant, the second plant, the third plant የት አካባቢ ብናደርገው ለሶስቱ ለዌትም ለዲስታንስም ሆኖ ለሶስቱም ሎኬሽን ሞር ሊቀርብ ይችላል የሚለውን አይደንቲፋይ ለማድረግ we can use the center of gravity method. The starting point for this method is a grid map set upon a Cartesian plane as shown in the figure, and there are 3 locations. So here we have, for example, here we have 4 locations, A, B, C, and we have D. Each at a set of coordinates and XY identify its location in the grid, and the value weight is annual weight shipped from that location. So the objective is to determine a central location for any facility. So the objective of the center of gravity method is to determine a central location for any facility. 3-4 ፕላንት ሊኖረን ይችላል። ለአራቱ ፕላንት የሚቀርብ የት ቦታ ብናደርገው ዌርሃውሱ ሊቀርብ ይችላል የሚለውን ለመስራት we can use center of gravity method. The coordinates for the location of the new facility are computed using the following formula. So we have a formula: x-axis and y-axis, x coordinate and y coordinate. X coordinate the summation of x times weight divided by the summation of weight, and y coordinate the summation of y times weight divided by the summation of weight. So xy coordinates of the new facility as center of gravity. Coordinates of xy coordinates of the existing facility is this one and this one. And w annual weight shipped from facility weight, and this one is annual weight shipped from facility I. So here we have examples. XYZ, the restaurant chain, purchases ingredients from 4 different food suppliers. The company wants to construct a central distribution center to process and package the ingredients before shipping them to their various restaurants. The suppliers transport ingredients items in 40 foot truck trailers, each with a capacity of 38,000 pounds. The location of the 4 suppliers, ABCD. So here we have ABCD. And the annual number of trailer loads that will be transported to the distribution center are shown in the following figure. Using the center of gravity method, determine a possible location for the distribution center. So we have 4 location: A, B, C, and D. A ላይ 75 weight አለ, B ላይ 105, C 135, D 60. So the solution is that we have A, we have B, we have C, and we have D. A x value, x means this one and this one. You have to check it. For A, for B, this one and this one. For C, this one and this one. For D 300, and I think 500. So we have this one, we have this one, we have this one, we have this one, and we have here. So ABCD, we have X axis, we have 200. Here we have 200. Y axis, we have 200. Here also we have 200. So here we have 200 and 200. Weight 75. Weight we have 75. B 100, 500. Here we have 100. This one, I think 100 and 500, and weight we have here 105. C we have, then D we have. So X value, the summation of X weight divided by the summation of weight. So the summation of X means 200. The summation of X times weight means 200. Here 200 value times 75 plus 100 value times 105 plus 50 times 135 plus 500 times 60 divided by only weight. 75 plus 105 plus 135 plus 60. So we have 238. And this one is the value of X. The value of Y, the summation of Y times weight divided by the summation of weight. That means the summation of Y means we have 200, 500, 600, 300. So 200 times 75 plus 500 times 105 plus 600 times 135, 300 times 60 divided by the summation of weight 75, 105, 135, 60. So we have 44. That means 238 and 4, 4 and 4. ይህ ማለት አዲሱ ሎኬሽን ወይም ደግሞ አዲሱ ዌርሃውስ መቋቋም ያለበት በእነዚህ በአራቱ ሎኬሽን መካከል 238 እና 440 238 here around we have, and 444 we have here 44. So we have around here. So እዚህ አካባቢ ሎኬት ብናደርገው ለሁሉም ሴንተር ሊሆን ይችላል ማለት ነው። So such type of technique we call it the center of gravity method. So the suggested coordinate for the new distribution location is 230 and 444. However, it should be kept in mind that these coordinates are based on straight line distance, and in real situation actual roads might follow more crucial routes. Zigzag አይነት መንገዶች ሊኖሩ ስለሚችሉ, but here we assume that a straight line distance, so we have to consider such one. Then the third technique is break-even analysis. Break-even analysis implies that at some point in the operation total revenue equals total cost. When total revenue is equals to total cost, we call it break-even point. Break-even analysis is concerned with finding the point at which revenues and costs agree exactly, and it's called break-even point. Break-even analysis computes the amount of goods required to be sold to just cover costs at a particular location. So break-even point ጋር ደረስን ማለት at least ኮስታችንን ከበር አድርገናል ማለት ነው። Total revenue is equals to total cost. Break-even analysis considers both fixed and variable costs. So break-even analysis can be used for location analysis, especially when the costs of each location are known. So for the first step here is that for each location determine the fixed and variable cost. So first we have to determine the fixed cost and variable cost. So variable cost per unit times quantity plus fixed costs or total fixed cost, we call it total cost. Plot the total cost for each location on one graph. So we have to plot the cost on graph and identify ranges of out for which location has the lowest total cost, then solve algebraically for the break-even points over the identified range. So we can see example. The break-even equation is for calculate the total cost of each location and for calculate the break-even quantity. So total cost means total fixed cost plus variable cost per unit times quantity. Total revenue price times quantity. So break-even is square total revenue is equals to total cost. So quantity solve በምናደርግበት ጊዜ here, because we have price times quantity is equals to fixed cost plus variable cost per unit times quantity. Then quantity we have fixed cost divided by selling price minus variable cost per unit. So we can derive this formula from price times quantity equals fixed cost plus variable cost per unit times quantity. So let us see. The manufacturer of automobile is considering different locations. The operation manager has narrowed the search for new facility location to 3 different sites. Cost studies indicates that fixed cost per year and variable costs are given in the following table for each location respectively. So we have 3 locations: Gondar, Awasa, Adama. Fixed cost per year Gondar ላይ ከሆነ 30,000 Awasa ላይ 60,000 and Adama we have 110. Then variable cost per year we have 60, we have 40, and we have 20. So with an expected volume of 2,000 units, which location is best? For a volume of less than 1,000 units, which location is best? For a volume of greater than 1,500 units, which location is best? So we can use total cost is equal to variable cost per unit times quantity plus fixed cost. For example, for 2,000 units with an expected volume of 2,000 units means 2,000 and less than 2,000 units. So for Gondar we have 30,000 fixed cost, 30,000 plus we have 60 variable cost per unit, 60 times quantity, then quantity we have 2,000 units is equal to 2 ሲባዛ በ60 I think 120,000 ሲደመር 30,000 150,000. And this one is for Gondar. For Awasa is equal to fixed cost 60,000 plus variable cost per unit 40 times 2,000. So 80,000 ሲደመር 60,000 140,000. And Adama is equal to fixed cost we have 110,000 plus variable cost per unit we have 20 times 2,000. So 40,000 ሲደመር 110,000 150,000. So ከሶስቱ ከ150,000 ከ140,000 ከ150,000 ትንሹ we have 140,000 because this one is cost. So we have to select the smallest one. So the smallest one means the second one, Awasa. With an expected volume of 2,000, which location is best? So Awasa is best. So we can solve the remaining also. For a volume of less than 1,000, which location is best? And 2,000 ነበረውን 1,000 አድርገን ትንሹን ኮስት ሴሌክት ማለት። For a volume of greater than 2,500, which location is best? 2,000 ነበረው 2,500 አድርገን ትንሹን ኮስት ሴሌክት ማድረግ እንችላለን። So this technique we call it break-even point analysis technique. Then the next point or subchapter is layout design. So we already designed product, process and location. Then the next point is layout design. Plant layout refers to physical arrangement of production facilities. This one is the physical arrangement of the production facilities. እንዴት አድርገን ነው arrange የምናደርገው production facility? It is a configuration of departments, work centers and equipment in the conversion process. It is a floor plan of the physical facilities which are used in production. So እንዴት አድርገን ዲፓርትመንቶች እንዴት አድርገን ወርክ ሴንተሩ እንዴት አድርገን ኢኩዊፕመንቶችን ፕሌስ ማድረግ እንችላለን or አሬንጅ ማድረግ እንችላለን። Plant layout is a plan of an optimum arrangement of facilities including personnel, operating equipment, storage space, material handling equipment and all other supporting services along with the design of best structure to contain all these facilities. So this one we call it plant layout or layout design. This means deciding where to put all the facilities, machines, equipment and staff in the operation. Facility የት መሆን አለበት፣ ማሽኑ የት መሆን አለበት፣ equipment የት መሆን አለበት፣ staff እንዴት ኦፕሬት ማድረግ አለበት የሚለውን የሚይዝ we call it plant design or layout design. The layout of an operation or process means how its transformed resources are positioned relative to each other and how its various tasks are allocated to these transforming resources. Together these tools will dictate the pattern of flow for transformed resources as they progress through the operation or process. So So it's an important decision because if the layout proves wrong, it can lead to overlong or confused flow patterns. So በትክክል ሌአውቱን ካላስቀመጥ ነው አንደኛ ሎንግ ሊሆን ይችላል ፕሮሰሱ። ሶ ያን ሎንግ የሆነ ፕሮሰስ ለማስቀረት የግድ ኮሬክትሊ ዲዛይን ማድረግ ይጠበቅብን። ኦር ኮንፍሊክት ፍሎ ፓተርንስ አዘርዋይስ ኮንፊውዝድ የሆነ ፍሎ ፓተርን ሊፈጠር የማቴሪያል የአሬንጅመንት ችግር ከስተመር ኩስ ከስተመሮች ሎንግ ዌቲንግ ታይም ሊኖራቸው ይችላል። ሎንግ ፕሮሰስ ታይምስ ኢንፍሌክሲብል ኦፕሬሽንስ አንፕሬዲክቴብል flow and high cost ሊፈጠር ይችላል። So we have to design correctly the layout of the organization. Also relaying out an existing operation can cause disruption leading to customer dissatisfaction or lost operating time. So because the layout decision can be difficult and expensive, operation managers are reluctant to do so often. So here we have to design correctly the design of a layout. So what makes a good layout? To a large extent, the objectives of any layout will depend on the strategic objectives of the operation. But there are some general objectives which are relevant to all operations: inherent safety, security, and satisfaction. A good layout is one that gives due consideration to worker safety and satisfaction, and safeguards the plant and machinery against fire, theft. So የወርከሩን ሴፍቲ መጠበቅ የሚችል ከሆነ ሳቲስፋክሽናቸው መጠበቅ የሚችል ከሆነ ዘን ፕላንት fire and theft መጠበቅ የሚችል ከሆነ then we call it a good layout. That's the first objective of good layout. Second, length of flow means minimizing the distance traveled by transformed resource. አንዱ ሪሶርስ ሁለተኛ ሪሶርስ ሶስተኛ ሪሶርስ ይኖራል። ከአንዱ ወደ ሁለት ከሁለተኛ ወደ ሶስተኛ ትራንስፖርት በምናደርግበት ጊዜ ይሄ ዲስታንስ አጭር መሆን አለበት። So length of flow as much as possible should be short. If the design of the organization satisfies this one, then we can see the good layout. Third, we have clarity of flow. All flow of materials and customers should be well signposted, clear and evident to staff and also customers alike. Staff conditions also. Staff should be located away from noisy or unpleasant parts of the operation. Management coordination. Supervision and communication should be assisted by the location of staff and communication device. So through layout design then we'll have good coordination. Accessibility also. All machines and facilities should be accessible for proper cleaning and also maintenance. Use of space. All layouts should be used space appropriately. And this usually means minimizing the space used, but sometimes can mean achieving an impression of partial luxury as in the entrance lobby of a high-class hotel. ለምሳሌ ትልቅ ሆቴሎች ጋር የምንገባበት ጊዜ የሚስብ ኢንትራንስ አላቸው። ያን አይነት ነገር መፍጠር የምንችል ከሆነ we call it good layout. Maximum flexibility also. Layout needs to be changed periodically as much as possible. በቀላሉ ደግሞ መቀየር የምንችለው መሆን አለበት። ፊክስድ መሆን የለበትም። A good layout will have been devised with the possible future needs of the operation in mind because customer demand ሊቀየር ይችላል። There are different factors. ቴክኖሎጂ ሊቀየር ይችላል። government ፍላጎቱ ሊቀየር ይችላል. Because of this and other factors, as much as possible we have to keep the flexibility of the layout. So the basic layout types, we have generally 4 basic layout types. The first one is that fixed position layout. And second, we have functional layout. Third, we have cell layout. And then we have product layout. So we have 4 basic types of layout. So the first one is that fixed position layout. This is also called the project type of layout. In this type of layout, the material or major components remain in fixed location and tools, machinery, main and other materials are brought to this location. So material and major component ማይንቀሳቀስ ከሆነ ነገር ግን ማሽኑን እና ሰዎቹ ብቻ ተንቀሳቅሰው ወደ fixed position የሚሄዱ ከሆነ we call it fixed position layout. This type of layout is suitable when one or a few pieces of identical heavy products are to be manufactured. በትልልቅ heavy producቶችን የምናመርት ከሆነ we have to use such type of layout. And when the assembly consists of large number of heavy parts, በጣም heavy part ከሆነ ከአንድ ቦታ ወደ አንድ ቦታ ማንቀሳቀስ ከባድ ሊሆን ይችላል። so አንድ ቦታ fixed ቦታ መሆን ይጠበቅበታል። The cost of transportation of these parts very high. ወይም ደግሞ ትራንስፖርት ለማድረግ በጣም ከባድ ከሆነ ብዙ ወጪ የሚያስወጣን ከሆነ so such case we have to use fixed position layout. Fixed position layout products is too large to move. ፕሮዳክቱ ላይ በጣም ትልልቅ ለምሳሌ ቢልዲንግ ሞተር ወይ ኮንስትራክሽን ኦፕን ሃርት ሰርጀሪ የምናካሄድ ከሆነ ለምሳሌ በሽተኛው ማንቀሳቀስ በጣም ከባድ ነው የሚሆነው። ስለዚህ የግድ ዶክተሮቹም ደግሞ ማቴሪያሉ ወደዛ ቦታ መሄድ ይጠበቅበት ይችላል። ሃይ ክላስ ሰርቪስ ሬስቶራንት customers would object to being moved to where food is prepared. Ship building the product too large to move. And mainframe computer maintenance also. So in such case we have to use fixed position layout. The second technique is functional layout. In functional layout, similar resources or processes are located together. In such case, similar resources or process አንድ አይነት ፋንክሽን ያላቸው ወይም ደግሞ ፕሮሰሲንግ ሲስተም ያላቸው አንድ ቦታ ሎኬት ይደረጋሉ። ተመሳሳይ ሆነ ሁለተኛ ቦታ ተመሳሳይ ሆነ እዚህ ጋር ዘን ሰከንድ ተመሳሳይ እዚህ ጋር ዘሰርድ ተመሳሳይ እዚህ ጋር የምናደርገው ከሆነ we call it functional layout based on their function. We can say that this may be because it is convenient to group them together or the utilization of transforming resources improved. For example, hospital, X-ray machines and laboratories. X-ray machine አንድ ቦታ laboratory አንድ ቦታ የብቻቸው ሎኬት ሊደረግ ተመሳሳይ የሆነ ፋንክሽን ያላቸው machining the parts which go into aircraft engines heat treatment ለምሳሌ አንድ ዲፓርትመንት ጋር ሎኬት ሊደረግ supermarket some products such as time goods are convenient to restock group together. so ሱፐርማርኬቱን ጋር በምንሄድበት ጊዜ ተመሳሳይ የሆነ ፕሮዳክት አንድ ቦታ ተመሳሳይ የሆነ አንድ ፕሮዳክት በዛ መልኩ ሎኬት የምናደርግ ከሆነ we call it functional layout. The third one is cell layout. A cell layout is one where the transformed resource in terms of operation are pre-selected or pre-select themselves to move to one part of the operation or cell in which all the transforming resource to meet their immediate processing needs are located. After being processed in the cell, the transformed resource may go on to another cell. So አንዱ ሴል ጋር ፕሮሰስ ከተደረገ በኋላ ሁለተኛው ጋር ሴል ፕሮሰስ ከተደረገ ሶስተኛው ጋር የምናደርገው ከሆነ we call it cell layout. In fact, cell layout is an attempt to bring some order to the complexity of flow which characterize functional layout. So in the first cell ላይ ፕሮሰስ ይደረጋል እዚህ ጋር ፕሮሰስ ከተደረገ በኋላ ሰከንድ ሴል then third cell process የሚደረግ ከሆነ such type of layout we call it cell layout. Examples of cell layout include some laptop assembly. Within a contract manufacturer's factory, the assembly of different laptop brands may be done in special area dedicated to that one brand that has special requirements such as particularly high quality levels. The fourth technique or type is that product layout. In product layout, equipment or departments are dedicated to a particular product line. Duplicate equipment is employed to avoid backtracking and a straight line flow of material movement is achieved. So product layouts, equipment or departments are dedicated to a particular product. This is the first product, the second product, the third product. The first product የራሱ የሆነ ፕሮሰሲንግ ሲስተም ነው። the second የራሱ የሆነ ፕሮሰሲንግ the third product የራሱ የሆነ ፕሮሰሲንግ ሲስተም or layout system ነው። so በዛ መልኩ ማቴሪያል አሬንጅ የሚደረግ ከሆነ we call it product layout. Adopting a product layout makes sense when the batch of a given product or parts is large relative to the number of different products or parts produced. So such type of layout involves locating the transformed resource entirely for the convenience of the transformed resource. Each product or piece of information or customer follows a prearranged route in which the sequence of activities that are required to match the sequence in which the process have been located. Examples we can see automobile assembly, for example. Almost all variants of the same model require the same sequence of process. Loan application processing. All applications require the same sequence of clerical and decision making activities. The first loan process ይደረጋል ያልቃል የራሱ የሆነ the second የራሱ የሆነ the third የራሱ የሆነ በዛ መልኩ ፕሮሰስ የሚደረግ ከሆነ we call it product layout. And also we have self-service cafeteria. Generally the sequence of customer requirements starter, main course, dessert, drink ሁሉም ይሄን ሊከተሉ ከሆነ we call it product layout. And the last one, sometimes we have mixed layouts. Many operations either design themselves hybrid layouts which combine elements of some or all of the basic layout types or use the pure basic layout types in different parts of the so previously ካየናቸው ከአራቱ ሁለቱን ሶስቱን at the same time እንጠቀም ከሆነ we call it mixed layouts. So a combination of process and product layouts combines the advantage of both types of layouts. ሁለቱን at the same time መጠቀም ምንችል ከሆነ then we can take the advantage. A combination layout is possible where an item is being made in different types and also sizes. በተለይ በዲፈረንት ታይፕ and size process የምናደርግ ከሆነ ፕሮዲስ የምናደርግ ከሆነ የዛ አይነት then we can use such type of arrangement. So organization of physical facilities, the following are the most important physical facilities to be organized. Factory አሬንጅ ማድረግ እንችላለን ላይቲንግ ሲስተሙን አሬንጅ ማድረግ እንችላለን ክላይማቲክ ኮንዲሽን ቬንቲሌሽን ወርክ ሪሌትድ ዌልፌር አክቲቪቲ እነዚህ ነገሮች አሬንጅ ማድረግ እንችላለን እነዚህ ነገሮች አሬንጅ በምናደርግበት ጊዜ we call it layout. So we have completed the first part of the third chapter and next we'll see the second part of the third chapter. Thank you.